Okay, welcome to this week's, day's, whatever. Welcome to the video, and today I'm going to show you how to make my own recipe of chilli. Very simple, very good. And believe it or not, the secret ingredient is baked beans. Beautiful. And there is a bit of story about that, I'll tell you in a bit. But after my bolognese video, my beef ragu, I was advised that browning the mince is better before cooking with Mirepoix, okay, which is your garlic, celery, carrot. Now I've only got the one carrot, we ran out of carrots, but that'll do, okay, for what I'm doing for. Let's get on to browning the meat. Straight onto the hob. We've got some oil warming, and as soon as I can, no, that's not going to work. And again, as per usual, I'm not organised and I'm playing all around the kitchen, but I mean, this is normality. Right, oh God. So here's the wonderfully not cheap mince, but it'll do. Okay, it's beef and pork mince, a lot of fat content in there. You could argue that's more flavour, but bear in mind that this is half the price of steak mince, and I mean half the price. Half and more as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to brown this mince off. And while we're browning mince off, let me tell you why we use baked beans. I mean, I do believe quite a few people put baked beans in their chilli. For me, it was what I was brought up on, really. My father wasn't a fan of kidney beans. To be fair, I'm not a fan of kidney beans, but he introduced me. I mean, he uses powdered chilli, water, and baked beans, and that's his. Mine's a little bit of a take on that, but baked beans is still the key ingredients. And I'm going to show you how we're going to turn this chilli into two wonderful meals. Now the thing is, if you are a family that doesn't like spice, then this is delicious. It's a bit, I suppose, it's a bit like a sloppy joe. It's delicious. I know my partner and my little girl don't like spice, so they have this with nachos, bit of guacamole, bit of sour cream, and yeah, that's it now. Tomorrow when we do the guac and the sour cream, it's disgusting stuff. It's a cheap pre-made guacamole. Why? Well, because the avocados were extremely poor quality. So while this is browning, okay, we're going to switch over here and we're going to create our Mirepoix. Now, those that watch my videos regularly know that my children, particularly the eldest, very sensory, and texture in food is a lot, because obviously with the chilli you've kind of got that soft and chunky texture at the same time, so I try to make it as easy on them as possible. And to be fair, I prefer it this way, by blending the ingredients rather than finely dicing. Now, as I say, I'd usually do 2 carrots. I don't have 2 carrots, I only have the 1. But it's all good, that 1 carrot, right? We're not going to go and panic over it. We're just going to make do with what we've got and what we've got in the house. Yeah? Okay, so, oh, I should have my chopping board. Where's my chopping board? There we go. Damaging the kitchen counter there. Okay, so the chilies, okay. I've got chilies out now. Ideally, okay, you'd put them in with the chili, okay, alongside, oh, I've lost it now, but a delicious chilli sauce. There we go. So usually that's going to go in my chilli, but like I say, it's going to be for the first 12 hours at least, it's going to be chilli free. That's just so I can get my children's and my partners prepared, and then I'll throw in, well, pretty much I'll throw in what I actually want to, how spicy I want it. Usually that's about enough. Yeah, so all I'm doing now is I'm just preparing that Mirepoix again, like we did in a video last week. And now, because I'm cooking, the cat's coming in and everybody's wondering why I'm talking to myself, but there we go. So yeah, it's a bit less carrot than what I wanted, but it'll do. That'll do, we'll make do what we've got. Okay. Okay, there we go. Small onion. You know, we're going to do this really, really roughly. You know, speed's the key. Feel like me, I mean, you know, as much as this would be fantastic, realistically, this is never going to be a full-time job for me. It is a hobby. So, along with full-time job, you know, my time, particularly this time of year and coming up to summer, my time is very, 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 very hectic. And for those of you with 2 children, or, you know, like myself, 2 children with additional needs, time is important. So this tends to be why I do my ragouts and everything sort of like over 24 hours in a slow cooker. So I can prepare it the night before, and it's nice and easy to finish off the day after. Now, in terms of this, somebody thought that my ragout bolognese on a budget was, you know, what about the cost of electricity? Well, the fact of the matter is I use a slow cooker, and you'll find, or I find that, you know, my slow cooker can be on for 24 hours and use less electricity than, say, slow cooking on a stove for 2 hours. And I generally mean that. So in here we're going to put lots of garlic. Now, I have said this before, I go for the this is a roasted, an oak smoked garlic, got from the local supermarket, which in my case is Asda. But as I have said, you know, quality of you know, the veg from there recently has been absolutely appalling. Personally, I think the supermarket's gone really appalling since they were taken over. But there's my rant. As to get your bleep together, so to speak, get it sorted, start getting better produce on time and delivered and fresh. There you go. I'm going to knock back like that. So that's my Mirepoix. We're going to hear a lot of noise, so I'm going to actually turn this off whilst I prepare this. See you in a few. And a mince. Oh, the number. Ooh, that's really good. So there we go. There's our Mirepoix already. Okay, it's not to my usual quality. Okay, I think it needs another carrot in there. But to be fair, for what we're doing and how we're cooking it, that's going to be fine. Here's our mince, which we've now got. Oh, there we go. We've got this nicely burning. I'm just going to burn it off a little bit more, until I hear that nice sizzle. So apparently what it does, well, not apparently, browning your meat first, it caramelizes the meat, giving it a much nicer flavour, which it does, to be fair. And then your Mirepoix goes in, okay. And what we're looking for, we're looking to soften the Mirepoix rather than crisp it, which is, to be fair, what I've been doing. So hold my hands up, let me know if you disagree, and if you are the sort of person who does the Mirepoix first. We're not going to, you know, this is on the budget, so we're not going to put in, well, lost me speech now. We're not going to put in red wine. You could put in red wine if you really wanted to posh it up, but we're looking for hearty, easy, stomach lining, rim burning, chilli. Excuse the crudeness on that one. Never mind. So that's coming on now, so that's nice and browned. Okay, I'm getting that nice. So what I'm going to do now, okay, I'm going to add this. Now, again, like I said on my bolognese video, people are going to start going, oh, all that fluid, we need to drain it. It's fat. Well, it's not. That's water content from the Mirepoix, okay, and any water that might be remaining, you know, in the mince of the meat. Okay, so there's my Mirepoix, and what we're going to do, we're just going to mix that all in and give that a nice cook through. And eventually you're going to start seeing, in theory, you're going to start seeing water on that. That's fine, okay, that's worth doing. So you might hear me clutter about. I'm one of these people that like to kind of clean as I'm going up. I don't like piles. In fact, it does my head in when I've got to cook in a messy kitchen. Anybody else like me? Like a clean and tidy kitchen before they start cooking? Obviously, yet again, I didn't prep, so I am kind of going a little bit mad around here and wobbling on as I cook. Okay, so we're going to leave that burning on. That's nice. Okay, so yeah, I mean, to be fair, You can make chilli all sorts of ways. Now I know he doesn't have his fans, okay, but there's a fantastic one I've got, fantastic one I do now and again, that uses chuck steak and coffee and dried chilli, and it's fantastic. And love him or hate him, the recipe was from Jamie Oliver's American cookbook, but that is expensive. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about £15 before all your other sides on there. I mean, this is probably, even with, you know, assuming you've got chilies in and chilli sauce, which I use, I mean, you're talking under a tenner easily. The most expensive part is the mince, which is around £4.50. You know, your baked beans are under £1. Carrot, celery is negotiable, you know, not negotiable, negligible in the expense. You know, a carrot's probably about 10p if that. So this is a nice, quick go-to chilli. Okay, if you really want to posh it up with flatbreads, you can do, and I might have to do that recipe one day. But despite me not liking some of his recipes, and Uncle Roger hating a lot of his recipes, Jamie Oliver's chilli is actually pretty damn good. So that's that now. We're going to let that cook down. There's not a lot of water content in there. Okay, so as with the spaghetti bolognese, because we're cooking this low and slow, we can drain the fat. It is going to need skimming, okay, because more fat does render as we slow cook it. If you drain it, you cook it through, well, you're not going to need to skim it that much, but you will need to skim it. So here we go. So ignore me clattering around. I am literally just in fact, I'm going to turn this off whilst we colour. So here you go. If you look there, you can see this isn't fat, a lot of that's liquid, so we just get down to the bottom, you can hear that sizzle. Yeah, and that's kind of a sizzle that we're looking for. That nice sizzle of the fat on the base of the pan. And now we know that's ready to drain. Not that there's going to be a lot of fat in there by the sound of it. So what we're going to do is we usually do. Okay, you know me, I like to make use of as much as possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to drain this, and last time, unfortunately, the cat got hold of it. But I am going to save the fat, refrigerate it, and then use it as a stock. Sorry, not as a stock, but we're going to use it for the fat. In the roux for the gravy. You know, when you're doing like sausage and mash and you've got limited access to meat juices, things like that, that's where these this fat comes in use. You know, generally you don't really need fat if you're doing a roast dinner, but if you're doing something like anything that just wants gravy, even like chips and gravy, this fat's fantastic to keep. You use it mixed with some flour, put in some good quality stock, and you have a fantastic gravy, and with flavours from this mince and pork, you know, you can't really beat it. It's better than any sort of instant gravy. But as you can see, you know, we've rendered that quite nicely. There's not an awful lot of fat there, but we're going to leave that for a minute or so. That's pretty much it. We're going to add it to that puree, and then get that on for around 24 hours until it's ready. So yeah, now we're going to do it nachos and burritos. Tell me, what do you like to put in your chilli? What do you like to serve with your chilli? Leave me a comment below, and obviously as usual, do hit that subscribe button. You know, I am building a community and your engagement means the absolute world to me. So I'm just looking, we've got a little bit still dripping there, so we're going to leave it. Now obviously, as usual, this might not be traditional, but we're going to stick it back on the hob. Okay, do that, that's nice. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to go in with our, can't help it, I say I don't like to do expensive, but you know, this stuff, when you talk about stuff being the bomb, this stuff, oh, where's my auto focus, there you go, this stuff is the absolute bomb. It takes Henderson's relish, it takes Worcestershire sauce, and it literally kicks them to the floor. It's not cheap, but it's absolutely beautiful. It sets you about 10 British pounds for a bottle, which is 200 mils, but use it sparingly, it'll last me a good few months. So yeah, there you go, you can hear that nice crackling as that meat further renders, we can caramelise this. So we're going to go in with a bit of and 2 to 3, might as well finish that, around 2 to 3 tablespoons, which isn't really playing with me nicely, but there we go. 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, okay. And then the secret ingredient, just standard, okay, standard, when it works. Come on. I don't like Heinz. People use Heinz. I find Heinz too sweet. These are fine. Stanton, a baked beans from the local supermarket. They're going to go in. Please, promise you, this actually does work. I kid you not. Okay, going to give that a stir through. Now that's, obviously, as you can see, it's a bit dry. So what we're going to do, because we're slow cooking it, I'm going to stick plenty of fluid on. Like I said last week when I did the ragu recipe, the day after you might need to. Know what I have forgotten. Anybody spot what I've missed? Do leave a comment below. What have I missed? Well, apart from the obviously ingredients that you'd put in, I have missed, okay, a bit of seasoning. So we're going to put a bit of salt in there. Okay, I will obviously taste it tomorrow for additional, so I'm not going to go too much. Bit of seasoning, bit of white pepper, bit of salt. I use white pepper in this because it gives it a bit of a kick. You know, it is a chili after all. And what we're doing, we're going to add, again, as we usually do, as we will with the ragu as well, should I say, when I find it, I'm going to do 1 stock. Okay, and this is the OXO one. I have moved to these. People use like the powdered cubes. I've moved to these jellies. They do work very, very nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that for a bit, let that stock simmer. We're then going to cover it up. Slow cook it. Now, obviously, if you wanted deep flavour, 24 hours, this point you'd put your chilies in, whatever chilies going for. I've got a few just bird's eye and some standard chilies from the supermarket, and I put this stuff in. It is absolutely, in fact, anybody in the UK, get to his website, Daddy Cool's Chili Sauce, I think it's .com. I'll leave a link in my description, but this stuff is the bomb, okay? It's not made from extract, you know, you have these chili flavour, chili sauces that are just spice, you know, and hurt. Don't get me wrong, these are spicy, and he's got some that you will feel, but they're just so full of flavour. And this is his blood orange Bhut Jolokia, and it's absolutely delicious. It adds a unique sweetness to a chili, okay? But you can put your own chili sauce in, you know, whatever you wish to put in. After all, it is your meal. Right, I'm happy with that. Okay, we're going to leave that for 24 hours now. So all that remains for me to do, when I can find it, is put the lid on and come back in 24 hours later. See you soon. And oh, there, yep. I didn't think I would have gone. And this is a good 12 to 14 hours later. Now, as you can see, a couple of green chilies in there and a delicious Scotch bonnet. And now I'm going to add some of this beautiful sauce that I talked about yesterday, the blood orange Bhut Jolokia. Give it a good splash of that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let that simmer. Now it looks a lot less than what was originally cooked, and you'll be right, and that's because I've removed quite a bit of it for the children and the partner who, as I explained yesterday, don't like it spicy. But that's going to now stew for another 6 hours, and that's going to be delicious. And that is going to be turned into now 2 teas. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get our nachos ready. Now nachos are incredibly simple. You can choose to air fry these and you can choose to do them in a deep fat fryer. I think one day I might just have to do both and show the difference. But just for ease, because I know what I'm doing, I suppose, I'm just going to do these in the air fryer. Bit of light issue, you'll have to bear with me, and that's because of the... That's a bit better, isn't it? So that's easy. And now we're going to cook these into nice wedges. That's it. And these are so easy. And do you know what? Even if you're not having chili, these are absolutely fantastic to have as a snack. You know, the versatile you could make just some cheese nachos, bit of cheese whiz, I suppose, if you want to make your own cheese sauce, with some jalapenos. We're going to have it with chili. We're actually going to cover these in paprika and salt, so they can be eaten after if they wish. I'm going to serve it with chili, sour cream, and because I've got some decent avocados there, I'm now going to show you how to do guacamole while we wait. So you're going to have to excuse my picture taking while I just literally get some of a thumbnail, and there's a reason for this, okay? So I'll take a look at that, that's fine. I've got some daft music on in here whilst I cook. Let's do this. This can go to one side, a lighter, that's fine. And what we're going to do now, we're going to get our avocados ready. Avocado. No, we're going to do our guacamole. So for this, I mean, people have their own, again, their own variations of this. Oh God, that camera angle's shocking. Yeah, you can do your own version of this. I mean, people put chili in theirs. I say, my family aren't massive fans of spice, or should I say, if I'm cooking with children as well, we tend to leave spice out if we can. But it's incredibly easy. And yes, you know, you can buy shop pot, okay? Shop pot guacamole, but it's not as nice. And despite it being a slight bit more expensive to make, okay? I wanted that on there for now. We're going to make it because it's nice. You can have that bit of chunk to it, and it tastes fresh. It tastes so much different to, you know, like the shop bought guacamole. But there we go. You want it to be a bit spun. I don't know if you probably can't see it there, but there's a bit of a give to it. You want them a bit soft. A little trick though, if your avocados are a little bit hard, whack them in the microwave. Yes, okay, it warms them up, but it does soften and it does tenderise. Again, just taking a quick and this is as hard as it gets. I'm just going to do that out, done. Going to get rid of that in a food bag. Almost take my hand off because I'm trying to just pull it off with a knife. Oh, this is bad organisation today. Right, there's my first one. And all we do, it's nice and easy this. We're just going to go like this. We're going to go there, there, round. That's it. And all you need to do now is in a bowl. This, watch. It is as, and if it's ripe, there's going to be absolutely no give to that, and it's just going to literally fall off. You might get a little bit piece that you've got to slide off, but with it being ripe, it's not going to take that much effort. Now, I'm not going for any, you know, perfection. This is all going to get mashed together. You know, are you team smooth or team chunky? I mean, I tend to like a little bit of chunk in my guacamole. Do, you know, leave me a comment below. Team chunk. Team chunk? Team chunky or team smooth? these are, oh, just lost that one. Just wiping my hands. It's got guacamole all over. Guacamole. It's got avocado all over it. And they're beautifully good at this time of year. My son, he's only 3, but he absolutely loves green. So he likes, you know, green veg. Likes green, you know, guacamole. He loves it. So this, you know, that's 2 relatively large avocados, and that's going to serve at least 2, if not 3 of us for the 2 meals that I'm doing on the chilli. So just going to leave that there for now, and what we're going to do, coarsely chop. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I know there's people that don't like coriander. Fortunately, other than my little girl that's, you know, very fussy, coriander in our family is vital in some dishes. And I'm just going to rough it, as you know, because the thing is, these are going to get chopped and mashed anyway, so you don't really need to think. But we're looking for roughly half and half again, and that should give us and there's no finesse in this. Okay, we are just literally chopping them. I mean, I prefer cherry tomatoes. I like the sweetness that they give. You can use beef tomatoes in this. I suppose you could even use whole tomatoes. Again, you know, your recipe, your food. You put in what you want to put in. Just going to do a quick wipe. And if we're that, and tip when we're doing onion, always leave that bit on one side of them on. Makes it so much easier to chop. So we're just going to peel these, take that tough bit of skin off. Now again, I do try to show how I chop, but my knife skills are absolutely atrocious, and it doesn't really help that my hands hurt regularly. So again, usually I'm not perfect. But we made 2 horizontal slashes. You could make 3 if it was small enough, and we're then just going to dice it like that. Okay, and there's our simple diced onion, and obviously we don't want to use as much as possible. Okay. So again, I'm going to do this by eye. Usually, doesn't need no thinking a bit more. I'm not going to quite put a full onion in, but I will, because what I'll probably do is I'll use this later on, I think. I'll use it in another dish during the week, just something that I can throw in an onion in. And that'll do for now. That's enough for now. Over there we go. Okay. And now that's really it. That's the guacamole done. Okay, a bit of salt in there. And then obviously a piece that just lifts it and gives it that nice flavour. Okay, juice of 1 lime. Oh, let's say. Again, me showing my useless hand skill. Okay, I have washed my hands, so it's alright doing it this way. Now, pestle mortar, the best thing to do for this is to get the, I think it's called the mortar, I think, and that'd be the other way around. And all we're going to do is literally sometimes nothing more relaxing than some music on in the ear. And cooking. And on a beautiful day like this, nothing can be better. You know, what a way to relax. And now by this point, we're hoping, okay, we are hoping, but in theory, our deep fat fryer that we're now preheating, okay, is going to be ready for our nachos to be fried. And it is a simple job, this. So there you go, look at that, absolutely stunning. Now, like I say, you might want a bit of bite in yours, add a chilli, okay? Okay? The spice never done anybody any harm, and especially the guacamole sometimes goes really good. And a quick one for the thumbnail later. And then all I'm going to do, a quick taste. Usually I ask for Mrs. Faces to taste this because she loves the guacamole. Perfect. Boom. That can be refrigerated, covered, should I say, and refrigerated till you need it. Oh, that's beautiful. So glad I made that now. And at this point, we're ready for our... Yeah, definitely ready. Okay, so there is a few crumbs off the last frying last night. Yeah, okay, I'm probably going to get slated for that. But it is what it is. We haven't got time to drain it, and it's just a few crumbs from fries last night. So, just a few, throw these in. And then what we do, keep them moving. Which again, I'm not prepared. So we just keep them moving a little bit, okay? It gives them that nice little curl on them as well. Now they really don't take long. As soon as you see that brown appearing, we're going to take it out. So as you can see, there's a few of them there, maybe a few too many in there, but all we're doing now, we're going to do this. Okay, done. Now, trick is to this, whilst we fry each batch, we leave one just draining, just in case there's some excess fat on there, okay? So if I move that down a bit, you'll see I've got a sieve there, and a plastic bowl. The oven isn't hot, so I'm alright. We're going to pour them on there. Now, while the other batch cook, okay, these are going to drain, and then we're going to throw them in a metal bowl when the other batch is cooked, and so on and so on. So back to frying we go. Just a handful, not too many, okay? Because it really doesn't take long. In we go. Beautiful. Then those other ones are now well drained, so we just get our metal bowl and literally tip them in, ready for our next one. That's it. Now, those nachos, you can add whatever you want to add to them nachos. You add just open the door for a bit of sunlight, that's for your colour change. But you can add whatever flavourings you want. Garlic, chilli, Cajun spices, salt. I mean, we like just having a bit of salt and paprika on them, okay? Like you can see, sorry, that is all it takes, and they're done. So, nachos with chilli, rice or chips, what's your go-to? Personally, I prefer mine, which is why we're doing two meals really, but I prefer mine as a burrito. My partner and my children prefer it with nachos. And to be fair, sometimes I like chips and burrito in my burrito with the rice. So comment below, what's your go-to side for chilli? There we go. Okay, rather than bore you with the next three batches, I'm just going to pause that video there and come back when they are ready to be flavoured. Now, as you can see, I've changed the bowl slightly because there's a bit more than I was expecting, but the next bit's really easy, and again, any aggression, it's great to get out of your system. So we're going to do that. Want lots of smoked cake on there. I've got about 2 to 3 tablespoons on there. Nice flavouring. And to that, we'll just add quite a bit of salt actually. Don't be stingy on the salt. And then it is this part. We cover it and hopefully don't make a mess. Which I am doing. And there we go. Some delicious smoked paprika nachos. I'm just going to wipe all that residue off. Goes everywhere. I'm sure you can find a cleaner way of doing it than what I've done. But there we go. Another delicious side for this beautiful chilli that we're making. I'll come back later when my chilli's ready for serving. You know, I said I was doing 2 meals with chilli. I kind of lied, because I've also got a snack now, and these homemade nachos with a bit of guacamole on there. Absolutely the bomb. Delicious. So there you have it, nachos and guacamole. Remember I said I was going to make 2 meals with all this chilli? Well, this is going to be the second one, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my some rice. We need to soak this for about 2 hours. And we soak 2 hours. In that 2 hours, we're going to at least wash it and strain it a couple of times, okay? Just to remove all that starch. The reason we do that is, you know, when you get rice that's claggy and all sticky and forms massive kind of balls and isn't loose, well, that'll be why. It's because you haven't washed enough of the starch off the rice. Remember which cup you've used as well, because that's key to the next part, which I will repeat later. But what we're going to do is going to make sure that we have about 1 rice to 1.25 water. So if you've got, say, half a cup, let me think about that, you'll need maybe, oh god, about just over a cup. If you've got a cup of rice, you'll need 1.25 cups of water. So remember what you've used, and it goes easy like that, okay? There are lots of other methods you could use, but that's what we're doing. We'll leave that for 2 hours, give it a rinse out, give it a sieve, and keep going. And eventually, hopefully when I turn this camera back on, you will see a lovely clear water with a rice sitting at the bottom. Okay, here we go. This is our, oh no, ignore that. So now we've got, see, my partner doesn't like soggy nachos. I think you should just shove it all on there. But what we're going to do, very wrongly, might I add, I'm going to put some there and then give a side serving of nachos. Okay, so yeah, that's it really. It's all done. Okay, this is the chili-free version. Imagine having a chili-free chili. But yeah, but the girls in the family like it. I mean, the little lad likes spice, but being only 3, you can't actually have too much of it. So nice, generous serving of that. Okay. And then generous. Okay. Kind of needs one there, doesn't it? It looks a bit lonely on that side. Oh. And obviously, what chili is about a decent cheese. And there we go. A delicious, beautiful nachos, chili, fresh guac, sour cream and some cheese. And there we go. We have one very, very delicious and hopefully spicy chili. With what we're going to do now, we're just going to reduce a little bit of liquid content. There's not a lot of liquid in there, but we're going to reduce it a little bit further, because whilst that's doing that, we're also going to cook our rice and steam that for 10 minutes whilst chopping some salad and what else we need to do? Chopping some salad, preparing the burrito and then serving. So you can hear me clattering about in the background. Now what I'm doing now is I'm getting my rice, and as I said before, in theory, this has worked. Not perfect, but it would go. It's certainly a lot clearer than it was. Oh, a bit too much water there. So I'm going to add plenty of salt into that, okay? And I'm going to stick that in. And effectively we don't need to do much other than that. Let it simmer, bring it to a simmer or boil, and as soon as the water touches the bottom of that pan and the water's gone, we take it off the heat and put the what do? I'm losing power to speak there. We're going to when it's boiled dry, we're going to take it off the heat, put a lid on it, and then we're going to let it steam for at least 10 minutes. And whilst that's happening, I can move, in fact I'm going to move that onto a quicker hob. And then I can, yeah, I've moved that onto the front hob there, so it goes a bit quicker, and that one's on, so I can start reducing that down. There isn't a lot else to do with that cooking really, okay. Just hoping that comes up in, starts to come up a little bit. We don't need to do much with that, so we're just going to let that slow on the lowest hob, let that cook out. So while that's happening, we're going to chop and prepare a little bit of salad for wrap. Tomatoes. So as with any other decent burrito, we're going to put some salad in that, cheese. I'm not going to put guac in it, but I might put a bit of sour cream, because that'll help cool these chilies. Pack a punch, I can tell you that much. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop this up. I probably don't even need all of it, so I'm going to do that. Save that half. Okay. And as this is having salad tomorrow night, I might be having salad tomorrow night, don't know yet. I even have a burrito tomorrow. Quite fancy a steak one. Bit of avocado on there, bit of cheese, or even mushrooms and chips. And then with it, like a peppercorn dipping sauce. What do you think? Think that sounds nice? Let me comment below. What should I put on my steak burrito? I remember seeing one done by, is it El Burrito on TikTok? And it looks Facebook, I don't think he's on TikTok. But yeah, it looks absolutely tremendous. If you're like me, or like I used to be, find that you usually, waste quite a bit of salad. So if we've ever got salad in there, I do try and use it, even if it's just sticking a few tomatoes in a dish that wouldn't usually have it. And there's my lovely cat that you can hear in the background. Probably smells of chilli, thinks it's for her. Or she'll regret if she came in. What do you want, kitty? So yeah, we're just going to chop up some tomatoes to go on the burrito. Whilst glaring at the kitty who decides that she's going to torment me. Don't know why she's trying to torment me tonight. You can probably smell the beef, but that mince is going to be far too spicy for you, kitty. Anybody else have a cat that likes to beg? And I mean actually begs. Comes in and sniffs around whenever you've got food. Our cat's called Slinky, named after the book in the, oh I should know this, I forget the name of the author, but Slinky Malinky books. So there we go, we got our tomatoes, we got our lettuce, and that's brilliant for our thing, for our burrito. And at the moment my rice hasn't even started to boil yet. So that's cooking down nicely. In fact, that's probably done. So now I'm just waiting for this. It's all on the rice now. That rice gets done, we're laughing. And whilst that's happening, we can start doing a bit of a clean up. Because like I say, since before, I don't like a messy kitchen. I like a clean kitchen when I'm cooking. What I could do, I suppose, is grate some cheese. Right, so while this is going to a boil, okay, well that's it really, so I'm going to put this to boil and then come back to you when it's close to finished. See you in a bit. Right, as you can see, that rice is now boiling nicely away. We're not going to touch it. We'll literally maybe a couple of side food just to make sure it's not sticking, like so. But we're not going to stir it. We're going to wait for that to cook out. As soon as that water dries out, literally just as it's about to start sizzling on the bottom pan, turn it off and we cover it. Right, as you can hear, both hear that water's about to run dry on that. Okay, just not catching, but it is kind of beginning to stick, so we're going to turn that off straight away. Oh, and as per usual, I'm not organised, but I'm going to cover that up and move it somewhere cooler, and that's it. We can now leave that for 10 minutes, job done. Next comes just literally making a burrito, but there you go, there with chili. Okay, I'm taking that off the heat as well. That's going to be fine, particularly as it's going to go into the air fryer. And I'll be back in a minute to do that. Okay, there we go. And now I'm doing, I probably won't use all this rice. Okay, but that's there, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. In fact, I probably will need all of it. Let's do that for now. Let's get it in, let's see what we're going to get. Because I kind of want that nice, because the last burrito I made it was a bit white. Look at that though. I think that will do nicely. You can see the little bits of red, those little poisonous bits there. Not poisonous, those little fiery kicks. I don't know why I said poisonous, I genuinely didn't mean that. So what I've got here, on top of this now, we've got my wrap, which you probably just heard, shoved in the microwave for a few seconds to warm it up, soften it up, and then this is where the fun begins, if I've got enough hands. So what we'll do, I need a bigger spoon, a spoon or spatula, and here we go. Oh. Lots and lots. little bit of sour cream. Do I want the sour cream? I think I do, but not too much. Because with a bit of cheese, it's going to be moist as it is. Just enough. Oh, I'll do. Yeah, get rid of that yellow part. Lots of cheese. I hope this folds. This is either going to look a disaster or it's going to look alright. Oh. Now I'm never, I've just had a little bit of a lick of that chilli. Whoa, that's the likelihood of me eating all this, especially now I taste that spice. Oh, that's gonna be that's a fiery one. Whoa, a fiery one indeed. Definitely gonna need that guac. Definitely gonna need that sour cream. Definitely that cheese. Look at that. Beautiful. My, admittedly getting better, my wrap, burrito wrap skills aren't good. So there we go, these are going to go in for, oh, that one's unwrapping. We're going to go in for about 10 minutes, no over that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in for 5 minutes in the air fryer, around, I'll do about 180 because I don't particularly want to, I don't want to scorch these really, so air fryer on, 8 minutes, 180, go. Right, I'm tuning out, I'll be back when they're cooked. Okay, and I guess, there we go, I'm just going, because I don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm not going to eat it all. I'll probably end up putting half of it away and having it for lunch tomorrow. I don't know why I'm doing that, but never mind. We're making a bit of a cock up of serving this. That. Now, I don't do many, but I personally think that's a winner. What do you think? And there you go. There's my one set of ingredients. And what turned into actually 3 different meals. We have our chilli with nachos. We have our side kind of lunchy dish of nachos with guacamole, and then these beautiful burritos with guacamole, homemade, and sour cream. Absolutely delicious. Whatever's on your plate, do eat. Enjoy what you eat and eat what you enjoy. The only question I have to ask, as usual, for anybody that's not following is why not? Give me a subscribe and leave me a comment below. What's on your plates? As usual, don't forget, wherever or whenever you are viewing this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Click the links to the right to see some more of my beautiful, delicious recipes. Give that notification bell a ring to be informed of future content. And last but not least, comment below what's on your plates.